was buried beneath my shame. Who could carry that kind of weight? It was my tomb till I met you. Oh, I was breathing but not alive. All my failures I tried to hide. It was my tomb till I met you. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. Now your freedom is all that I know. The old made new. Jesus, when I met you, when you called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. My sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan. Now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are Amen.
Good morning, Rooted Men. Matt Ryan, elder from the Rooted Ministries, coming to you live this morning, this Friday morning. I would say beautiful. I guess it's a little cloudy and rainy, but it's still beautiful, right? Got Chuck, Ken, Bert, Steve. Good morning, gentlemen. I don't know I know there's more people that I don't see, that I don't know who are out there listening and watching with us, following along this morning. Good morning to you. Blessings to you. This kind of midpoint of summer, well, according to the school calendar anyway. I hope it's been a good time for you. Been a time of growth and challenges, and I kind of hope that every day is that way for you, that every day there's challenges and growth and spiritual maturity. You know, for those of you who are following along with the daily studies that we do in the YouVersion app, I think we're on the third phase of spiritual maturity chat right now, and it's fascinating stuff. But you know, it's a challenge every morning to stop and think about, okay, where am I at? When we compare ourselves or compare our walk, of course, that's not what we're supposed to do, but, you know, we use the historical figures and the lessons in the Bible to kind of recalibrate where we are. You know, it's intimidating when you think about some of the characters, you know, the Jacobs and the Abrahams, and, you know, the folks who are the models of maturity. And though we may not feel like we're there, this is one of those practices that gets us there. And so I always kind of want to challenge you a little bit and also leave you hopeful, but it's kind of a good goal for these things, I think. So we're rolling Psalms. Let me see if I can. Hey, there we go. Oh, it doesn't quite all fit on one screen. I was hoping it would, but so we're in Psalms 40. Gosh, where does that put us? Maybe a third of the way, getting close to a third of the way through the Psalms. Another worshipful Psalm of David. You know, the Psalms hit in so many different ways. It's such a good thing to go through them, gosh, at least once a year, I would say, but to be always resetting ourselves first thing in the morning, right? Start your morning in prayer, start your morning in the Word. Psalms gives us such incredible expressions of a kind of a worshipful attitude that we really should hope, you know, to be pushing toward. I think it sets out such a high bar, but in setting that high bar, you know, it helps us to understand the whole idea of remembering God's faithfulness. We have a little joiner this morning. Say good morning to Reagan. So let's dig in here. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, who does not look to the proud, to those who turn aside to false gods. Many, Lord my God, are the wonders you have done, the things you planned for us. None can compare with you. Were I to speak and tell you of your deeds, they would be too many to declare.
Dad, do you still remember when I...
Sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but my ears have opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings you did not require. Then I said, here I am, I have come. It is written about me in the scroll. I desire to do your will, my God. Your law is within my heart. I proclaim your saving acts in the great assembly. I do not seal my lips, as you know. I do not hide your righteousness in my heart. I speak of your faithfulness and your saving help. I do not conceal your love and your faithfulness from the great assembly. Do not withhold your mercy from me, Lord. May your love and faithfulness always protect me. So again, bold claims, bold statements, true statements of faith, statements that are true about the provider God, the good Father that we have. They always ring powerful. God's eternal truth is always powerful because, like God, it is unchanging. You know, it kind of brings this thought about faithfulness, right? Why do we say that God is faithful? What is it that, we're always looking for evidence, but what does faithfulness really means, right? There's kind of three things that make up the principles. One is that God is unchanging,
Yeah.
just like his word is unchanging, because it's consistent and reliable from all of the dawn of creation. There's no change, whether circumstances change, which they do all the time, right? We can be fickle, blown by the breeze, right? A swaying reed. Why are you copying me?
I say it with you.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Not only is God's faithfulness demonstrated by it being unchanging, but he's also true to it, right? He's trustworthy because he always keeps his promises. As Tom always prays, your word never comes back void or empty. It does its work. Right? It's always true. It's always trustworthy. And then, of course, being the source of salvation, right? Sending his son to die as the ultimate sacrifice proves, not just proves the love, but brings humanity to redemption. So, when we talk about that faithfulness, it becomes this big word, but, I just want to bring it down to, it really is these core things about God, these core truths. And because that is an unchanging foundation, we can kind of build our faith around it, right? We're created in God's image. So because God is faithfulness, by his very definition, we are also created to be faithful. We are created empty, right? There is this emptiness that needs to be filled. And I hope and I trust that for everyone here listening, and I think realistically for everybody, there is a moment when your brain accepts or understands or comes to know or rationalizes God's existence and God's presence in our own lives. And that becomes our aha moment, right? Our story of faith, the time that it started, and kind of everything after that is this kind of working towards something, right? Being on a walk, a lot of people call it. But how often do we forget? Right? The Psalm tells us, right? I would tell of your deeds, but there's too many to declare. It would take all of me, all of my life, all of my energy, and I still would not sum up the good that you've done for me. When you've stepped into the slimy pit, when you've stepped in and carried me when I couldn't carry myself, right? The famous Footprints poem. The whole idea that we don't go through this alone. We don't go through anything alone. But are we remembering that? Are we recognizing and acknowledging that we are written in the scroll of life, us individually? Are we proclaiming his saving acts to the great assembly? He says, I do not seal my lips, Lord, as you know. Do we remember? Or do we then take it for granted, right? How many stories do we know? I just read a great book. I think it was called Unbroken or something. It was a story about World War II survival. And it's just a phenomenal story. I won't ruin it for you, but it really articulates these ideas that at the lowest moments when we're the most desperate, we turn to God. Everybody does, whether they're a believer or not, whether they've spoken to God in years. When things are actually desperate, there's this sudden recognition. I turn to God. I plead for mercy. I'm acknowledging and recognizing him in this moment. And so many people do this bartering, right? God, if you just do this for me, I'll serve you forever. I'll give my life to you. I'll, all the promises I make. And then, a couple days go by and we're not as afraid of whatever that threat was anymore. And we go back to living our old lives. We go back to being the sinner we were born as, right? Are you remembering? Do you know your stories? Can you look back and think and remember the times that God has shown up in your life? The times that your Father's been carrying you when you went through something that you couldn't carry yourself through? Do you understand those stories are there whether you recognize them or not? Maybe you don't have the gift of gab, right? Maybe you don't have the gift of putting all of those experiences into words and becoming a living testimony. But it is always within us to proclaim God's faithfulness. It's always within us to speak these truths about God boldly, because the boldness is in the word. The boldness is in the truth, not in the speaker, not in my heart, right? So just want to encourage you to be thinking like David today and on. Be thinking about, when has God shown up for me? When did things happen that just didn't make sense? A moment when I just knew, oh, that's funny. There you are. You answered a prayer. You answered a question I had in my head, whatever it was. It doesn't have to be a big fancy story. It doesn't have to be a life dedicated in a, it's just your story. So I just want to encourage you again, man. Just like David here, know about those times when you've been in the muck and the mire. Think about and be ready to encourage others with the stories of God showing up, of his being unchanging, of his word meaning something in your life day to day. I'd love to hear some of your stories. I thought about being self-indulgent this morning and telling you some of mine, but I think really it's about encouraging each other to take that time in reflection, take your quiet time in the morning to stop and go, God, you keep showing up for me. I don't know why. I know I don't deserve it. I know I deserve only death and separation from you because I'm born in sin. But because of your redeeming love and grace and sacrifice, well, look at that. I'm being crowned as we speak of it. Yeah. Because of your faithfulness, I have been made into something more. I am a living example of what it means to be found in the muck and the mire. Don't forget that, gentlemen. Hope that's encouraging and kind of carries with you throughout the day. I hope that you're able to, even when the world's making noise around you and there are distractions, that you're able to quiet things, to be with God for a moment, to think about and know his faithfulness, his presence in your life, and be encouraged and emboldened to share it with others. I love you, gentlemen. Let's have a great day. Let's make it a firmly rooted day. Oh. And may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.
Bye-bye. I'm going to watch what you were doing.